Right. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We've got an excellent day today, lots of sessions. Thank you for joining us for day 2 out of 3 of our PI 16 community meeting. Today is the day we take a screen. And if you haven't been here before, what that is, we at some point will ask you to come on camera and give us a smile and nice little wave so that we can take a nice photograph to immortalize our virtual selves and immortalize our presence in this meeting. That said, we've got a number of good, exciting sessions today. Some pretty short, some pretty long, all in all good sessions. And we will kick things off this morning with our community governance. Update. Yesterday, we referenced the work, some of the work that has been going in around the community governance update, around the community governance committee, sorry. And I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you a quick update for you to hear from the leaders of the 3 community governance groups, that's the Design Authority, the Change Control Board, and Community Council. So this session, I have Louis as the interim chair for the DA, the Design Authority, and Sam as a convener for the Change Control Board, and myself as a co-chair for the Community Council. So I'll stop my sharing and pass it over to Louis to give us an update on the Design Authority. Louis? You muted this.
Oh, wow. This is not my day. Normally, I'm like really on with muting. Hi, everyone. You heard from me a little bit yesterday. You have the pleasure, maybe, or maybe not, of hearing more from me today. This is just a quick update from the Design Authority. I think last month, end of September, James Bush stepped down as the chair of the DA, and I'm just filling his shoes temporarily until we have the upcoming elections. There was quite the power vacuum, as you can imagine. As Simeon kind of shared yesterday, elections are coming up in, I think, under a month's time. We have 5 elected positions for the Design Authority, and there's a few criteria for that and for who can be nominated. And that's going to be shared shortly with kind of the voting registration email. In addition, for each active work stream, there's 1 position available for work stream representation on the Design Authority. In terms of what we've achieved in the last PI, the main kind of substantive thing is the DA charter. We've finalized it on the DA side, and it's in review with the Merge Loop Foundation. I think there's been a few changes, mostly semantic, that we need to update and iterate on a little bit. And we used to be pretty on it with the DA issue log, which you can see here, linked to the GitHub DA issue log that we have. And unfortunately, I think we've kind of moved away from that a little bit. So when I went to look and show you all the key important decisions that the DA has made in the last few months, I found tumbleweeds, as you can see in my picture. I think something for myself and for the rest of the DA and for the next iteration of the DA, something we can work towards is improving, I think, some of our tracking of issues and tracking of the decisions that we've made, because these are really important things. And it's really important for us as a community to be able to look back and say, see what those decisions were, who made them, and understand the context as well, so that we're not just repeating ourselves endlessly. So with that, Sam, I'm going to hand over to you to talk about the CCB. Thanks.
Thank you, Luis. Let me quickly present, and if you can confirm that you can see it, I'll proceed. I'm sharing it now. I wanted to start at the beginning, so sharing it again. Hope you can see it, Simeon.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Mojulu Foundation, and I'm fortunate here to represent the Change Control Board. Thank you, Luis. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Samuel Kumari, Sam. I'm the convener on the Change Control Board. As Simeon introduced, I'm part of several other community boards and work streams as well. So today I want to quickly touch on the other Mojulu Governance Board, Change Control Board. I hope it's the favorite board of everyone. In the wording, it came out a little bit, close to the product, the Community Council, but I will take it. Thank you, Luis, for the update on the DA. Simeon and Paul have covered this several times, but I still wanted to have it here to highlight where the Change Control Board stands. So you can see on the right corner, we have the DA and the Change Control Board. The Change Control Board responsible for the API side of things. So as you can see here, we have the Change Control Board as the gatekeeper or the owner of the Mojulu family of APIs. And we have several of them. So we have the APIs for DFSPs, payment initiation service providers, or third-party payment initiators, hub operators and administrators as well. So the Change Control Board oversees the various special interest groups. And these special interest groups, each of them own a particular API, or in some cases, they may own multiple APIs as well, if they are related. And one of the key responsibilities of the Change Control Board is to achieve a balance between the changes that are needed to be responsive to the community, while also making sure that current adopters and implementers are not too much affected by the changes or the stream of changes that are coming in. So I put some links here. The Mojulu specification repository. I hope most of you, if not all of you, know about this. And we have the Mojulu specification repository. I'd like not to take too much time, but go to the repository and navigate a bit for a few seconds. And then one of the big accomplishments for us in the last year has been that the Change Control Board charter version 1.0 has been adopted on September 22nd by the Change Control Board and the various special interest groups in it. And then I've also provided a link for the Mojulu specification Gitbook pages. So the charter covers the Change Control Board mission. I would encourage all of you to please go back and look at least a cursory review of what it consists of. And then it also covers the membership, the responsibilities, structure, and various working groups involved, along with the team operations, like what are the tasks that CCB does. It includes key things such as versioning of the APIs and the decision-making process involved as well. One key thing I think in section 5 we cover is how the change requests can be made and how solution proposals can be made. For example, let's say one of the community members or a member of the DA has an issue with how duplicate handling is done in Mojulu FSP interoperability API and adopted with others. They can request the convener or one of the CCB member to raise it in one of the meetings, or follow this process and raise a change request as well. And then I'm sure the conveners and the CCB members will take it up, discuss and review its merits. We'll also cover the initial membership to discuss who currently are part of Change Control Board. So as of PI 16, we have these APIs, the FSP interoperability API, which is responsible for clearing, and the 3 steps, the lookup, or discovery, coding, and the actual transfer of funds. We have Henrik as the convener on that. And then we have the PISP or the 3PPI API, functionality relating to PISPs and DFSPs that interact with them. We have Luis as a convener of that. And we have the settlement API and the administration API under a single special interest group at the moment, with Miguel acting as convener on that. We have the cross network API, which is in final stages of its design and development as well. And it is currently part of the FSP interoperability SIG 2. As of PI 16, again, sorry for that, we have, this is the current membership. We have a few observers from Gates Foundation and Mojulu Foundation, Miller, Matt, Simeon. and from product, Leslie Ann. We have Michael as rapporteur, and Henrik, Luis, and Miguel. Obviously, every convener of the special interest group will be members of the CCB by default. As Simeon covered yesterday, we have the 2 positions up for elections this time. I hope there is sufficient interest there so that we have some different opinions and different flavor there as well, if that's as voted by the community. Quick overview. I'd like to actually navigate to this page and quickly show. Let me share my browser, if that's okay. So we have the Mojaloop specification repository, and then several issues here. These issues are labeled according to their API, whether it is a bug or a change control board issue or an FSP, IOP change request, things like that. And then each of those groups owns those, especially the conveners, own those issues to make sure that they go through the life cycle. And in the Mojaloop specification repo itself, we have separate directories or folders for each of the SIG. So we have third-party API, settlement API, admin API, and then of course some common artifacts as well, where you can find the charter. Again, thanks for this opportunity, and I'm happy to represent the CCB here. Really appreciate all the work from the Change Control Board, especially because it's most of the membership is voluntary. So thank you. Thanks, Simeon.
Thanks, Sam. I'll quickly go over the updates from the Community Council. So the Community Council, just to give a quick overview, once again, it fosters a strong Mojaloop community by aiming to engage the whole global payments community as well as grow membership. And this is the representative voice of the community. By representative, we mean everyone on the Community Council is elected and chosen by you. And the focus is really developing and implementing strategic targets for the community and also resolution of any potential conflicts. We haven't had to do that in the last year, which is awesome. We also ensure strong governance and operating procedures in the council, as well as more broadly in the community. I think most of you have actively seen the Community Council get engaged in setting up processes, workflows, and governance measures over the past year. And we also keep track and communicate community metrics. These people all serve in the Community Council voluntarily over the last year. That's Ed Cable, Louis Daly, Steve Haley, Sam Kumari, Greg McCormick, Graham Pampel, Innocent Kawoya, who also doubles up as our co-chair, John Mark Sabunya, Michael Richards, Brian Schneider, Kim Waters, and Justice Ortleb. I do want to call out and say thank you to each of these people for being dedicated and for their input towards the Community Council. So what have these guys done over the last year? A lot, but I want to highlight some key decisions that I believe have strengthened our community and have helped our community to begin to grow. Essentially setting the foundations for a stable, strong community going forward. Most of you who have in the last year contributed to Mojaloop have had to sign the community license agreement that was developed and approved by the Community Council. Everyone who had to sign up on this meeting had to check a box in the registration that says, please read the Community Code of Conduct. I hope you did. That too was developed and approved by the Community Council. In the last year, we also led the restructuring of the Change Control Board, Design Authority, and Community Council. All those proposals and the work coordinating that activity was led and managed by the Community Council. We have developed and approved collaboration tools policy and a contribution acceptance guide policy. This is essentially anyone who wants to make a major code contribution has a list of guidelines that they need to look out for or adhere to as they make that contribution to the Modular Foundation. This list was developed by the Community Council. And in the last year, the Community Council has also constituted and organized a number of small initiatives into one work stream, which is the community onboarding work stream that's currently led by Sam. So these are your top level updates and highlights from the governance team. I also in the chat posted a link to Discourse where a number of topics and meeting minutes and agendas are posted. You'll see quite a number for the Design Authority. They meet weekly. The Community Council minutes are also there, as well as the Change Control Board. These meeting minutes are intended to be public. So any person in our community is more than welcome to pour through these either on a weekly, monthly, on a regular cadence. And you're welcome to question or to make comments and suggestions on any of the decisions that were made. The right place to do that would be on any of these threads under which the minutes are hosted or are posted for that matter. In addition, anyone of our community members at any point can submit an agenda for discussion to any of the community governance groups. Whether it's for technical and architectural agendas, that goes to the Design Authority. If it's API specific, that goes to the Change Control Board. If it is with regards to any other matter relating to the community that's non-technical and non-API, it goes to the Community Council. The three ways of doing that is one, just send the agenda to me. I'll happily send it along to the representative group. Two, you can reach the chairs of the various groups again and give that information to them. And they would schedule you for the next available session. Or three, you can go into Discourse and in the link there and just whenever the meeting minutes are posted or a call for agenda, please just make a request and that will be noted and it will be scheduled for a future meeting. We wanted to have this session primarily to open up and reveal to you the workings of governance with the hope that many of you will take a deeper interest and become more involved in the governance of the community that you are part of. So I will end it there for that session. Again, thank you so much to Sam and Lewis for the updates for the various teams. We'll take a break and we'll come back in 12 minutes for a session, the 3 PPI overlay services, 3 PPI enablement session by Lewis Daly. Again,